Samuel Cardinelli, born Salvatore Cardinella, September 3, 1869, April 15, 1921, was a Chicago mobster, extortionist, and leader of Cardinelli gang during the 1920s. With Lieutenant Nicholas, the choir boy Vienna, only age 18, and Frank Campione, Cardinelli led one of the most dominant black hand gangs in Chicago prior to Prohibition, robbing hundreds of hotels, speakeasies, and illegal gambling parlors throughout the decade. The Cardinelli gang terrorized Chicago's Little Italy through a 6-year bombing campaign between 1915 and 1918. This murderous campaign resulted in 20 deaths and hundreds wounded. Vienna was suspected in at least 15 murders alone. Cardinelli's organization would remain the leading Italian-American criminal organization in the city, including the Johnny Torrio Al Capone gang, during the early years of Prohibition. Cardinelli, also known as Il Diavolo, the Devil, was arrested by the Chicago Police Homicide Squad for the 1919 murder of saloon owner Andrew P. Bowman and sentenced to hang on October 11, 1920. Following a decision by the U.S. Supreme Court on March 4, 1921 supporting the ruling, Cardinelli was executed on April 15, 1921. On the day of his execution, Cardinelli refused to walk to the gallows. He was strapped to a chair, carried to the gallows, and was hanged, chair and all. After the execution, the jail attendant took his body to an ambulance, which had been hired by his family. Inside, a jail attendant noticed a nurse, a doctor, and another man, as well as hot water bottles. The attendant contacted a deputy warden, who delayed the body for an hour. When it was finally released, a guard saw the nurse rub Cardinelli's cheeks and wrists, and the doctor prepare an injection. A police car stopped the ambulance, and the apparent attempt to revive the dead mobster. The ambulance was found to have a specially heated bed, an oxygen tank, an electric battery, and various syringes. One newspaper story says that a similar ambulance had waited for Vienna, who was executed on December 10, 1920. Vienna was taken to a room about 2 blocks from the jail where he was successfully revived to test the system before Cardinelli's execution. Vienna was then killed because he had snitched against the Cardinelli gang. In popular culture, the Cardinelli gang was the subject of author W. R. Burnett's 1929 novel, Little Caesar, which was adapted into the famous 1930 film Little Caesar, starring Edward G. Robinson. Ernest Hemingway wrote a brief vignette about Cardinelli's execution, spelling the name, Sam Cardinella, headed, Chapter 15 in the 1924 book of short stories In Our Time. The account acts an interlude between parts I and II of the story, Big Two-Hearted River. Further reading: Asbury, Herbert. The Gangs of Chicago, An Informal History of the Chicago Underworld. New York, Alfred A. Knopf, 1940. ISBN 1-56025-454-8. Flowers, R. Barry and H. Lorraine Flowers. Murders in the United States, Crimes, Killers and Victims of the 20th Century. Jefferson, North Carolina. McFarland and Company, 2001. ISBN 0-7864-2075-8. General references: Sifakis, Carl. The Mafia Encyclopedia. New York, Da Capo Press, 2005. ISBN 0-8160-5694-3. Sifakis, Carl. The Encyclopedia of American Crime. New York, Facts on File Incorporated, 2001. ISBN 0-8160-4040-0. Asbury, Herbert. The Gangs of Chicago, An Informal History of the Chicago Underworld. New York, Thunder's Mouth Press, 1986. ISBN 156025-454-8. McNamara, Drama in the Death House, Cardinelli's Weird Plot to Rise from the Dead. How Devil Snoop served as guinea pig in test. Chicago Daily Tribune, November 29, 36. External links Homicide in Chicago 1870–1930. Interactive database. Sam Cardinelli.